So it is 6:30. I'd like to call this October 10th, Wright Township Board of Supervisor budget meeting to order. Do we have any citizen participation at this time? Do we have a sheet, sign up sheet or no?
No,
No,
not
that's
for
okay.
this, because it's just,
Just
all it
okay.
is budget, we
Okay.
don't have any items for action.
Okay, hearing none, we can move on to start the workshop. Daisy?
Okay, well, I think what we have to always look at first is what I've always done, is look at the revenues, because you need to know how much money you have before you can distribute and allocate what you're thinking about you need and you want. So I like our old schedule, although we aren't using this budget anymore. I like this one page. I think it's easier to see, than letting it run into this worksheet. So I just pulled this out and like I had done last year, this is really like the schedule of taxes for the township. And these are estimated. I did increase the real estate by about 0.5% or so. I know that there's a new home that's coming this year, and there's another one that might be built. So it went up slightly, and it went up actually a little more this year than what I anticipated. I knew it was going up because I had talked to Randy Wagner, and I knew they were going to be doing the interim assessments for us. So, plus we had some pretty big projects that needed added on for the last 3-4 years that were not on there. So I don't know what's going to happen in 26 because that's going to be a mess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really an estimate. You're guessing, and what people might do, might not do. And I know that there's someone now that's coming through planning it's a younger gentleman, and he plans to build, but it'll be a year, close to a year, till he gets all that through the paperwork. He's just starting. He's a very young guy, seems very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But at least he's asking how to do things
He's asking the
right.
right questions.
So anyway, I just increased that slightly, and that gives you an idea. I did increase the earned income tax because that seems like we're doing very well with that. Your budget from last year, I'm not even sure if I had that. Yes, I did. Do you have?
It's on here too.
It's on, yeah, it's on there,
here,
that's
too.
true. Yeah, and then also the worksheet, the budget was also revised per the changes we made at the last meeting. So they're revised on here also. So that's basically that. It went up from last year. I think it was around 255,000. So we're looking at about $40,000 more.
So, the earned income tax is 380.
310 to, the amount?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's 380 on the summary sheet. It's 385, am I missing something?
Yeah, I might change that to 385. I don't know where
Okay.
I'm gonna be with that, but that's open for discussion too, if you'd like me to go higher with that, or if we need to. You never know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen, with the economy,
Yeah.
and you hear recession, you just don't know. That's a guess. It's based on people's earned income. You might have more people retiring, you might have, I have no idea. We do have a high median income. We have a higher median income than a lot of other municipalities. That means there's people here that have good paying jobs. But then there's some people here who have a little bit of nothing.
It equals out.
It does, it does. I think some of that extra that I'm seeing come in, there's so many factors that affect that earned income. The cost of living raises that people get, and remember what they gave the state. We have a lot of state workers in our community. So you have to remember the raises that they were given some good interim raises, and then, the cost of living raises, because I know even the retirees got raises. Now that doesn't include them here in the earned income, but they even received increase, because Nancy was telling me. So That's the only reason I know that. But, so all of that factors in, and it is higher than what I anticipated by this time. And I actually got hold of her yesterday, and she gave me the amount already for October, and that's higher than last year. But I don't know what November, December's gonna do, and you just never know. I take an average of what we got last year with what we have to date, and I feel safe with 380, 385. We always try to, that's the gross amount now, that's not the net amount, that's the gross amount. So on the expenses, you will see where the cost comes out, the 2% that they charge us to collect it. And I am on the executive board for cap tax, and they are talking about maybe lowering that a little. That's come up for discussion. There's not been no hard, fast decision or anything, but that's been mentioned. They couldn't lower it for a while. They were actually in the red several years back, but they're getting out of it. It had to do with some sort of property they owned over in Harrisburg, where they used to be on 3rd Street. They kind of lost their, you know what, through that. But anyway, that's all out now. They've sold that. I think it was some church bought it or something, but they lost some money on it, but at least they got rid of it. And so now they are a nonprofit, so they can make some profit, but they're basically to break even. So they're actually doing okay now. So I'm really happy to see that, because I was very, very concerned a couple of years ago. But now that I sit on the executive board, I get kind of some more information on that and see what's going on behind the scenes. So that's really good insight. And they really do, so you know, it has nothing to do with our budget, but they really do, the people that are on there really seem to care. The one gentleman is also a treasurer and a financial director from the Duncannon Borough. So he does a good job. And I understand what he's saying, and we kind of work together. And then there's Terry Uri. He also works for Metropolitan Life. And he's been with them for years. He's probably getting ready to retire. But anyway, I just thought you'd like to know some of that behind the scenes, because this is our largest revenue that we have. It's probably the largest revenue that most municipalities and boroughs have, so. Okay, any questions on the schedule other than that 5,000 there, the difference? But that could be, if I need the 5,000, I know where to get it, or I can just make it 5.
Yeah. Well, on page 3, road diesel and oil went down from 20,000
Oh,
to
okay.
16,000. It's not big, but I'm just curious what page 3 made about.
It actually came down in price, so I don't know where that's going.
Okay.
But it actually, we're paying a little bit less.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Depends on the
There you go.
election.
Yes, it does.
There you go.
True.
More than people know.
You've got that right.
Well, you can see what we've spent year to date so far, so. That's up through October the 8th, the interim bills that I just did, that includes them. I held off on some of the things with the zoning hearing board expenses because I did not get all of those invoices back yet from the hearing that we had. I did get the stenographer, but I did not get the legal fees yet, which that is all done and settled. I guess you saw the decision of it. So that paperwork's all done, but I'm waiting on that. If you want to go down over those, I was just starting with the revenues, but if you want to, however you want to discuss it, whatever. I kind of let the interest income go because I want to do a little more fine tuning on that. And I know it's going to go down, but I want to double check how far into. I know we have some CDs that go into May and June that are at the decent rate. I'm thinking we're probably going to get, it depends when they mature. I can still get a 4%, but I don't know how much longer that will be. I might get a 3.5, I don't think it's gonna jump down to 2 or what it was a few years ago. The best I could get was 0.35.
Yeah,
That was terrible.
I don't think it'll fall that far.
I hope not, but I just wanted to
Well, I
wait
do with someone who
on
might have to borrow money.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we needed to discuss too, as far as a big, revenue and what we're doing with the art monies. Last year, we kind of talked about some things, and I had a schedule that I gave you. I wasn't sure how you wanted to handle that, since the purchase that we anticipated this year didn't take place. So,
Do we know if that purchase is gonna take place in 2025? The
yes,
tractor's gonna be available?
yes.
Okay,
I'm not sure when, what, we're like 6 months in or something like May, June.
okay.
That's what he's thinking.
I wanna put in for a whacker though. We can't keep fixing this whacker all the time.
Oh,
the
wow.
compactor.
Oh.
We gotta get it all.
Well, that's, yeah.
What's a, I don't know.
They're around 32, 35.
It's a brand, that's the brand name.
Yeah, it's a brand,
That's
that's
the
what
brand,
it
yeah.
costs.
Okay.
We gotta do something, and I need a good pair of jack stands out there. The ratchet on our, for the big trucks.
Heavy duty.
Hey,
Yeah, the heavy duty.
Yeah, that's,
don't
Well,
look
can
at
you
those.
get those
Skip
this
on
year,
those.
the jack stands? How
I
much are they?
can, they're probably gonna be $1,000.
if
Well,
you,
how much have we got left here?
yeah,
430?
but if you need them though, you
Yeah.
need them.
Right.
And that's a
The
safety.
ratchet's bad.
That's a safety
Yeah,
thing.
I know, but I just want to address it.
Yeah,
260.
Well, it's bad now.
What's that?
It's bad now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can only put it so high.
Can we get,
Yeah.
how often do you use them?
Well, once in a while you use it on the big truck.
Oh,
Not-
no, I mean,
Not a whole
before you
lot.
use them again, can you get?
well,
Yeah.
it's one of the things if you need it, you
Yeah,
need it
just go
though,
get
so,
them.
yeah.
It's at the
just go
top
get it,
of page 4 is the account, and you can see we used about 1360 so far. I think most of those bills, or just say 1,400. If you spend, what'd you say?
Probably $1,000.
If you spend 1,000, we're still in
Still-
budget.
You're still right where,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
All right, so I'll say something going.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, find them,
I wanna get a good pair.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's getting hard to find anything good anymore, that's the problem. Good American made stuff, I
Right.
can't find.
What about Granger?
I can check there, see, yep.
Yeah, I think you were telling me about that Paul B. Hardware.
Yeah.
I went there for the first time the other day.
That's something, but that's,
Isn't it?
is the one down in Mechanicsburg,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
the one in Lidditz, you know.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah,
that
you need to
one's
get-
huge.
yeah.
That one's huger.
But the one,
Bigger than that?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
the one in Burnham's pretty big too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mom and dad go to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Farm?
And the people in there are so nice.
They've got the customer
Yeah,
service
customer
down.
Yep. And they know their
And they know
stuff
their
too.
stuff,
Yeah.
they know their stuff. Even the women down there know, they know, they know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go talk to them and they
Wow.
know, they know their stuff.
Yeah, they do.
That's a very.
That's a good outfit.
That's a good outfit.
Okay, so that's for this year.
Yeah, that'd
Right.
So we
But
want.
now the whacker, what do we
How
want to do
much
with
is
the
the
whacker?
whacker?
Gonna be about 32 to 3,500.
Just say 35.
No, they have them
Unless you
over-
wanna check for me and see how. if you-
See what the definite price is.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least
I
a
could do that.
roundabout.
Over at John Deere on the Carlisle GT.
GT, yeah, GT.
They have them in there.
Oh, do
And I'd rather buy it, then they get the parts and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean.
So
that
you
got-
wanna add that to the, would that be under tools, or is that equipment?
That would be equipment there, I believe. What would you guys?
That's probably
Is that a
equipment.
capital purchase or no?
Well, what level does something come at?
I thought it was 5,000, that was what Ward, I mean, it might be different for another business, but I think we always figured 5,000 was a capital. For roads, for 3,000 like for the office, but our stuff isn't that much. We could put it under capital purchase, but
For this year or?
for the whack or for next
For
year?
next
For next year.
Next
Okay. Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that's up to you.
Does
I
that
mean-
cause an issue? I mean.
We don't need it this
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
No,
so-
no, 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 I'm not
Oh,
having
okay.
any, not having any
Next
dispute
year.
about getting it, no, we get
That's-
it.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, I wanna
you
make
don't
sure
have
we
to-
put it in the.
Put it in the
spot,
right
right
one.
But you
place.
don't have
so
to
we
get it for this year if you don't.
Well,
want
it's
it.
minor
It's just
tools
gonna
or
sit
equipment
there.
Oh,
purchase.
For this year,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So it might go into minor tool / equipment purchase. It's not a minor tool, but it certainly is an equipment purchase, but it's not a capital equipment purchase. Is that how you would look at it? capital purchase to me is the truck, a
Yeah.
backhoe,
Right.
a mower,
Right.
you know. Or maybe if you got a garden tractor that
Right,
was,
right.
Any thought on
Big.
that? Okay.
But we got old glory on it, we don't need garden trucks. Remember that one Johnny Mace with?
yes, that little Tonka toy. Okay, so do you want to add, I had no idea, I just did, okay, so 2,000 is anticipated for this year. I put 2,500, that's not going to be enough, so I can change that to, now that includes any tools you get, say you need a drill, not that you need one, I'm just saying you need something small like that, that comes out of there.
Okay.
Or you need a new weed whacker, that
Right,
comes out of
right,
there.
right. But I don't wanna exhaust all that for the whacker, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it probably needs to be.
No, it needs to be more than
Right,
3,500.
Right, because in case the dude needs something, then you get.
Right, if something breaks, or.
So probably
Yeah, it's our
$5,000.
best guess, not guesstimate, but.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know, there's
Right.
things.
Best estimation.
Definitely. So what do you say, 4,500?
I'm okay with 45.
Yeah, that's
That
fine.
gives, that gives you, that gives you
That
$1,000.
gives you
That
$1,000,
gives you a little.
If you don't use it, that's fine.
Right, right.
Okay, we'll change that. Okay.
Is that on the minor tools and equipment purchase?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll change that.
For 25 to 485?
Yeah.
Do you mind if we address something on the revenue side
Sure.
for,
Which page?
page 1, the third from the bottom, game commission lieu of taxes?
Mhm.
We have year-to-date, just approximately $20,000 year-to-date.
Mhm.
But we're only proposing 15, almost 16 for 2025. Is there a reason that we're doing that? That we would we get this, are we getting the same amount?
I
year
don't
after
think
year?
it's going to be, I understood that we got that extra payment, because I was surprised, we get an extra payment, and what I understood from PSATs was that not 24, but in 23, at the end of 23, they agreed to an additional 120 per acre. And somehow that did get sent, and then they agreed again, like, the legislature agreed again and bumped it. So we actually got 2024s, plus we got the additional that they put, because we already got part of
Okay,
it.
so you got
You know what
some
I'm
in
saying?
2024 that was supposed to be for 2023?
Yes, the end of
Okay,
23.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because of the legislature when they
Yeah.
did the change.
That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay. I just had a question.
Yeah, I know, I had to think about that, I thought, okay, they can't put 19 in there, that was a kind of a windfall for us this year.
Yeah,
It's very nice that they, anybody that has a lot of,
it's about time.
yes, oh, it hasn't been changed for, ever since I've been here, 30-some years, so I don't know when they changed it last. But yeah, that's what that is.
What do you want to do as far as the generator goes?
I don't know what to do with that.
I mean, our generator does not work. It hasn't worked for quite a while.
We need to get that looked at before bad weather rolls in
Yeah,
here.
because we can't get the garage
Plus, it's too
door,
hard to work.
we can't get the garage
If-
door
if
off
the-
without it,
If
if
the,
the electric is off.
Yeah.
That's one.
Who would we have come with that?
would you want that, usually they want a Generac deal or somebody that deals with that. There's a guy named Brian Mixel who came, I have his number.
Okay.
Is it a Generac?
Yeah, it's a generator.
Okay.
We should get that looked at.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Before
Okay.
winter.
Yeah.
I will call him tomorrow.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Bill.
Yep. And another thing, does it say anything about, shale on here for Moore's Gap? I'd like to get more shale for that if we can.
That was in last year's
Yeah,
budget.
I wanna put that on this year yet. I think we had it in there for this year. I'd
Yeah,
like to do
so,
that while it's
if you
still
look
salt, the ground
under-
salt.
okay, let me look here. I did see that. Okay, if you look under roads contracted services on page 4,
Yep, yeah, I got it, yep,
438450.
yep, yeah, 10,000 right
And,
there.
and I just we had 25,000 there,
Mhm.
Yep,
but I think we anticipated more culvert work that didn't get done.
right, right.
But I put the 10,000 was anticipated, unless you know of something else. I was gonna ask you guys about the road stuff, cause I
Right.
don't know what to put in there.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys about, is it all right if I call that guy to do that this year yet? Before he gets,
Well, you got, I mean, it looks like we got money for it, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
Same guy we used last year.
yeah,
and it's not gonna.
And you said that should pretty much do.
that'll do a lot of the real bad
bad
stuff.
areas.
Yeah,
And then we
it's
can
not gonna
just-
get any better,
no,
so,
and
I
then we can
mean,
just anticipate that 10,000 in case
Again.
we need it there.
yeah.
No,
'Cause you had-
the anticipated is through the end of this year,
Oh, okay.
and then the budget is next year.
Okay, the budget, so we have what budgeted for next year for
Mhm.
that?
I didn't.
Daisy's
Oh,
trying to
okay.
figure out
That's
to
what
put in
I'm
there.
asking
Okay,
you, I don't
right.
know what you want, what
Okay,
you have planned.
Well, it was 10,000 for this year. That was the invoice we paid, right? That was like $9,900
yeah,
or something like
right,
that.
Yeah.
right.
And that's what's that 10,000.
That's what that
That's-
10,000
okay.
is,
Right.
yeah,
Okay, so
from
you're saying,
last year, yeah.
okay, so it's reasonable to say we're at another 10,000 going into 2025.
Yeah, that's what
true.
I would say, yeah,
But is there anything else other than that you want?
for that road.
I don't know
Or-
what,
or
I
any-
don't know what to do with these culverts, you know, that one is like, I'm waiting on Max, he's supposed to be
Oh, the
getting
one
me
down
a
here.
detail,
Yeah,
more
we still
detail.
haven't got
He
it.
gave me a really, what do I wanna say,
A very rough
a
estimate,
rough estimate, that's a good way to put
a
it.
rough estimate.
And it was over 107,000. Now, that was for everything.
It's not, very-
Yeah.
That's Heisley, that's not,
Mhm.
it's not New Valley.
because something about DEP wants some sort of hydraulic study on that. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he said they're in process. I asked him, he was here yesterday, and I asked him if he has that for me yet. I said, we're in the middle budget, and I'd like to have something a little more concrete. And, he said they are working on it, whoever they is, but they're working on it. He said they should have it for you soon. And the other thing that makes it hard for me is I haven't gotten a bill from Max for like going on 3 months.
Really? Is that,
So
is that because of the changeover?
I think
Because we
so.
didn't sign the contract? So they
I
didn't-
don't know,
Okay.
that could be too, but I think the changeover definitely, because, and plus he's swamped. He just said, I am so busy. Which is why I think he went with, the other company too.
To try to get help.
try to help.
Yeah,
He couldn't get help.
yeah.
He tried to hire, and he couldn't find him. He actually does have, one gentleman that used to come here. He was with Good Kind of No Day. That was many years ago, but his name was Randy Bailey. He's actually working part-time for, he goes, hey, I met someone that knew you. I said, uh-oh, who's that? And he said, Randy Bailey. I said, oh my goodness. I said, yeah, that's taken me back, but yeah, he was a very nice man. And, he did a lot of work here quite a few years ago. And then it was, when Ritu was around, he might have been with Ritu for a while too, because he kind of bounced around a little. But now he's retired, but he said he needed some part-time work, so he's working part-time with Max, which he said is really helping. But he's not doing, he's only doing certain work, I don't know what it is, but he's not doing our work. But anyway, that's leaving me hanging a bit with some of the expenses for the engineering, because number one, I'm not up to date on what we've already spent, because I haven't gotten invoices. And number two, it's this culvert.
Right, you know,
So I
okay.
really don't know that we can
Right.
get something done with those tonight, those accounts, till
Right.
I try to get some more
Information.
information.
Will we have that by
The 24th?
second?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him I need it, but, I mean, he didn't even give us a report last time,
Well, you
so.
try to tell him that all the time, but
I know, I do. I'll say, Max,
but
can,
he's
I try to
busy and
say.
he's just, he got
He
it.
didn't even give me a report, and and usually, maybe if I get to his secretary, because Carol usually sends me stuff.
Was that okay with you then, Jim, for me to call Harv and have him put that shale?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Then I
wanna
wanna get
lose
that-
it.
I wanna
Yeah,
get that done
Get
before
it,
hunting
get it before,
deer
yeah,
season.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. But you said it had to be wet, so it's
I
wet
want
enough?
it wet, yep, yep. And so
Well, it'll be wet.
packs in, so it
Yeah.
packs in, Yep, okay. And I'll
Okay.
call him Monday or Tuesday, I'll call him Tuesday.
And then next year you can,
Yep.
you'll have that road ready to be
Yeah,
paved.
yeah, it'll be a lot better.
Yeah. That's good though, I mean, it's an access way out
Yep,
of the
yep,
township,
yep,
you
yep.
know, if you had to use it, you could.
Yep.
So, okay, now that we're talking about roads and that area there, what about if you want the salt in the center, you said,
Something can go another load.
okay, so I put anticipated 1,100, but I'm gonna have to go up on that because it's now
What
9.
page is that on?
That's on page 4, where we just were with
Yep, okay.
road
Which
equipment.
line?
Page 4.
No, I'm sorry, which line?
The
242.
snow and ice,
Yep,
242.
242.
Jeez, what did I put? I think I did anticipate another load, because I didn't hear back from you
Yeah.
when I
yep,
texted you
Yep,
and
yep, cause I didn't know.
I figured you're probably mowing or
Well,
something.
I was in the pumpkin patch.
Oh, in the pumpkin patch. Okay, well, that's fine, but I did anticipate.
I'll vouch for him, I saw him, so.
I saw him in the pumpkin.
The great pumpkin.
Yeah. I'm praying for frost.
Well, then you can still pick pumpkins though.
No, they get spotted then they won't bother them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're done.
oh gee.
Yep.
Anyway, the 10-6 includes another load in this year. So what do you think about next year? Wait a second here, I have that schedule. It did go up in price,
Well, that's amazing.
and I know nobody has a crystal ball for how much snow we're going to get or not.
Yeah, so,
It went up to, it was 93, now it's 99.
$6 a ton.
It went, yeah, and I don't know why it went up, because it seems like.
Because they could,
Because they can.
Yeah, because they
Because
can, isn't that the truth?
that's how it works.
I don't know what I did with that. I had it here, I had the whole schedule from CoStar, we're with the CoStars, here it is. We are one of the highest, I mean, I did round robin this, but it's $99.03. There's only a couple more that are the highest. Price increase over the last year, $4.31. The average is 5.38% increase. The highest is Mifflin County, $106.30. The lowest is Erie, which they probably get dumped on and use a lot,
They do.
$56.78. We haven't paid $56 for years.
Well, a lot of the salt mines and stuff too are up in upper New York and stuff or whatever. It's pretty,
so it's
it's
close.
fairly close to where they are. Closer.
Yeah, Mifflin's high.
Yeah,
So we budgeted 20,500, you said we're likely to hit 10.6,
Yes,
but that's,
but we had a very mild winter last year,
Yeah.
you remember.
uh,
So what do you think?
it's not possible to know for certain,
No.
so.
Well, if
Right.
you budget high, then you can just use it.
20,000, you wanna leave that in there, or?
I'd be in favor of leaving it in.
just let it.
20,000.
Because, hey, if we don't have to spend it, we don't
Right.
spend it.
But at least we've figured on it, so
Right, that's always basically
all you can do.
how we've done it. And then the contracted services, that's, like those that plow for Cove Road
Right.
for us.
Yeah.
Or if we would have a deep snow and have to get a contractor in, a couple times we had to do that on Lamb's Gap, it was blown shut. Or out on Millers,
With bigger
big,
equipment,
big
yeah.
drifts, yeah, they had to come in. Sunny Palm did, so you know how long ago that was.
Quite a while.
Yeah, 1996,
Yeah.
96, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, 94, 96, they were bad.
So are you saying there's
That's
no
what,
reason to change it, or?
do you think it's okay, 1,100?
1,100.
I mean, you don't know, but
Yeah.
I think so.
we only used 400, and when they plow Cove Road, they do not go until it's at least 3 inches.
Yeah.
That's part of that contract. I'm gonna put that on the agenda for next meeting, so we get that taken care of.
But 11, I'm fine with 11, keep 1100.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wrap.
Yep, yep.
does that sound good? Okay, and this one too, the road signs and marking materials. So far, we're up to 3,800. But that also includes our traffic painting. I guess you saw that was done.
Mhm.
And I don't have the, bill for that.
Did you come down Mountain Road tonight?
Mhm. Yeah.
Did they finish it?
Yeah, they did. It's
Oh,
done the
did
whole,
they?
it's done the whole way now.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah, this morning it was not.
I
couldn't
know.
figure out why they skipped it.
That
Well, because I'm driving, I'm going, and all of a sudden there were new line going, what the?
That's what I
Whatever.
said.
I
But-
know.
We were trying to
It's
get a
okay.
hold of them, but they.
Yeah,
they
never
finished it.
answered.
I emailed him twice. No, I called him twice and I emailed him.
What color are their trucks? Are they like a
I
dark,
did-
are they
I
like a
didn't
dark
even see
green?
them.
Yeah.
The
they
guy
had
came in,
four
I
of them.
didn't go out.
When I came up over Stair Scaff 134, when I turned to go down Mountain Road, there were two of them actually came up 34 on the other side and went over and went down.
They had four yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, they were dark.
That was today, just
Okay,
today.
yep.
Wow.
So-
They were doing
Well,
Carol.
they did Carroll Township
Yes.
on Mountain Road too. I saw they did that
They
too.
said they were
at the
going to
same
do Carroll Township today and tomorrow. Carroll has so many
Right,
roads, so
yeah.
they'll be there 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, that was good that they were in the area
Yeah.
to fix, for
So
whatever
at least they
reason,
got-
they
yeah.
did that.
Mm.
I have no idea.
They might have had equipment problem or something. You
could
never
have.
know.
Yeah, but why did they
I don't know why
continue
they
down
stopped
the
us.
road?
Wow.
I don't know, it didn't
It
make
made no
sense. the way they did it.
sense.
But whatever, as long as it goes.
I wish
got
he would have
done.
called me, I would have had more peace of mind, but it's
Yeah.
like, I tried, but I did leave a voicemail, so he knew what I was like.
Right.
What's going on? Okay, so I'm gonna let that go in hopes that we'll get an invoice and I'll have a better idea, you know, the cost of the line painting.
Okay.
And then
Okay. Yep.
I'll just make a note here and put line painting, so I remember why I didn't fill that in. Cause I think that's gonna be expensive with the double.
Do we have an ballpark estimate?
We did, but I don't have it with
Okay.
me.
It was right around.
You saw it, didn't you?
It was, I wanna say it was like high sixes or low sevens.
Yeah, I think it
Like
was
7,100 or
Yeah.
7,000 and something.
7,000.
That sticks in my
But then we
mind.
added the, white lines on Lambs.
Mhm. Oh, okay,
For
so
safety.
it'll be a little
It'll be a
more,
little more.
little more, but yeah.
So I'm thinking, I don't know, 75.
7,500 probably, yeah.
Between 7,500
And
and 8,000.
8,000, yeah.
For lines,
Yeah.
terrible. And actually that's the only company that I tried to get comparative quotes. There's like no one else in the area does it. I wish I knew another company that would come in, but I've even called Townships, not this year, I didn't waste my time.
Right.
That's all I've been doing. If you happen to get any calls, Pam sent out the fourth quarter billing, and on that billing, they now had the data from Keystone for all the delinquents and past due. That is all I've been doing, because the data from Keystone, you know, we had to do two together because the data transfer was so bad.
Right.
And it was bad again. I mean, there was stuff that was left on there from 2016, 2017.
Oh my.
That could have been like a timing posting issue, where it was sent, but till it got posted.
It was
Right,
over. It was,
and
yeah.
maybe the postmark, they didn't bother to look at it, they just posted it, and then the software automatically puts on the penalty
It
and
just goes
interest.
by the date, yeah.
Right, and so they were hanging on, it might have been a $5 or $6 charge, and now it's, I don't know, 30, 40, or not more. And I'm getting all these, and I'm people that I know are good. They've never been on the past due
Right,
list, so
Right.
they're calling Pam's and they're saying, call the township. Well, I don't have the Keystone records, they do. But when they tell me, and then they bring proof in, you know, now some of them don't have from 2016.
Right.
But anyway, we're getting them resolved, but it's been a mess. I still have a couple, and I write resolved on it, so I get it done, but there's just been an awful lot. On Friday, Nancy was here, it was dinner time, and I got nothing else done but garbage. That's all I did was the garbage bills. She said, Daisy, you can't get anything done. I said, no, because they were calling, because it's upsetting to people to get a
Oh, yeah.
bill.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, we never got a bill, where's this coming from? So, anyway, I was wondering if I'd get one. You just don't know how that system works. And apparently Keystone just sent it,
They
and
just
there
sent it,
you
didn't
go.
worry
You
about it.
figure it out. So, we're getting it cleaned up. We got the master list cleaned up back in the spring. Now we're getting the delinquent list cleaned up. So, there's a couple there that are a little more difficult, but we're getting them, and Pam's is working with us. I'll just say, look, I think the one was like $30, and I knew the people. I said, look, this is just, it's on paper.
Right.
It's not that
It's
they,
not
oh,
re-
you
it's
can
not
see
real.
where they paid their full amount for that year.
It's not real.
Because at that time, it was one of those years it wasn't even 56 yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured it out, and I said, look, it's right here, they paid it, but this is all penalty and interest, and these people never got even a notice that they owed that. So anyway, they are taking that off, because then they add their fees to it.
Mhm.
So it's like, this is ridiculous. If I told you some of the people, you would say, well, I know they would never have, done that. And it's not a money issue, so anyway, it's just a headache issue, that's what it is. But we're getting it, I'm just glad to work through it and hopefully get a good, clean list for the beginning of the year.
For the beginning of the year.
I
so
wanna
it's-
review that in December. That's main master list. And then, because I have some information, but people that paid for the whole year, that's not on that. So I wanna see the master list
For the
again.
one,
Yeah,
okay.
before they send it. They don't like to give me that. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't wanna give it to me in the spring. I said, no, I wanna see that. So I know the people, they don't know the addresses and
Mm-hmm.
such. So I caught some things that were definitely not right. So I'm trying to work with them, and there's a girl over there that's really great. She's very detailed. I like working with her. She said, we'll get through this somehow. I said, we will. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know in case somebody does say something to you. Tell them to call me. If they're not getting resolved through Pam's, tell them to give me a call. And I at least do know the history of the people and how they pay and such. So anyway, you'll probably know them too, because most of them are people that, like I said, never had any issues with.
Daisy, I'm sorry, on page 4,
Yeah, back to the budget.
yeah, line item 450, repair machine and vehicle contract services. We had budgeted 30,000. Was that because we were planning on possibly fixing the tractor instead of buying one? Is that why?
I think, no, we
we're-
had, we didn't know we just put that in there
Mm-hmm.
because of the issue with that truck.
I was gonna say, we were having truck
Oh,
problems,
the,
weren't we?
oh, yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that
yeah,
dump
yeah.
truck?
I think that
That
was.
was,
That was-
it was
that
a
was-
lemon.
That was,
Okay.
I think, the big, I
That
think that was
plus
the
the
driving.
mower, plus the mower,
Right.
we had discussed that,
Okay,
right, we did
okay,
discuss
okay.
that,
We
but
put that
that
over.
was that truck that was they had to redo the whole engine, remember? We
Oh,
got a whole
yeah,
new
yeah.
engine, and then we had to pay part of it. So we weren't sure if that was going to fix it, or if we were gonna have issues with that, so that was put in there. And thank goodness,
Yeah,
to date, we have not had any major issues,
No,
other than with the mower, but
We gotta take that down and get the steering checked out on it, though. There's something wrong with the steering, it clunks, and it walks all over the place.
oh gee, before you get in snow,
Yeah, we gotta get that done.
well,
No, I'm
that's.
sorry, you were talking about the mower though.
No, the truck.
That's a truck.
Oh,
the truck.
That's a
Truck's-
truck.
The
truck's
mower's
moving all
fixed
over.
now, right?
Yeah, it's been working okay. Got another
Okay.
radiator in it. so
There's gonna be some more
Let's go.
expense
yeah,
for that.
yeah, we gotta,
I'm trying to keep it going.
don't jinx yourself.
Right.
Yeah, we gotta take that truck, when it goes to LB Smith, it's usually around a $3,000 bill.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible. What's
Parts of 60.
Yours was, no, oh, yeah,
Oh my goodness.
they know they got you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it, what happened to it?
Well, it's back, high pressure fuel pump,
Oh.
cab off. Yeah, so,
Oh,
and
wow.
then 2 weeks later.
They're getting
time,
good at
so,
it now,
yeah.
they get them off in 4 hours. Makes you feel better.
Oh, yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, but the allowance is probably 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, do you have a thought for that line item?
The one
Well,
We don't know till if you guys are gonna have to use the mower starting in spring.
Right.
Yeah, but we're not gonna do a massive repair on that like we were thinking.
No.
No.
And the truck, I mean, that's what we're, who knows?
They're starting to get, that one
Well,
truck's
see,
getting
the
some
thing
age.
with that, Johnny said, the last time he had that out, he said he had trouble with the transmission. See, they told me at the John Deere place about the transmission on that.
Now, what are you talking
On
about?
On the tractor.
Oh, on the tractor, oh.
Yeah, and, Johnny said last time he had it out, he was using it, and he said it wouldn't go in gear, and then all of a sudden it just clunked and went in. So,
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Sounds expensive.
Yeah, it sounds pretty expensive,
Oh, boy.
but the last time I used it, it was okay. I didn't have any trouble with it.
Well,
Um,
you should be finishing up this
But
year.
we should just leave some money around there in case.
Well, you're gonna have to have some. though.
Yeah, we don't wanna exhaust everything in case we need something.
Well, you're okay this year, cause we still have money in there, so if
Yeah.
something would go
Right.
before he's done mowing this year, and you're
Right.
done mowing. But
so,
what about next year?
would you say half of that 30?
Yeah, I would say half.
15?
I would, just to be on the safe
Yep.
side. You
As long
don't
as
use it,
15's
well,
enough,
Yep.
I mean,
you can always do with it.
Is 15 enough?
I don't know, dude, I think I'd make it 20, to tell you the truth.
20?
You can just, if you
Just-
don't use it, you can.
that's okay, right?
Right,
But you gotta have your trucks.
right,
Yeah.
right.
20?
20.
And I'll try to get that truck down there and get that steering with that
Right, in this budget year.
Yeah.
number.
Yeah, before snow too. Okay, well, that's good, that gives me an idea.
Russ Gibbons, is that the guy you deal with, Brad?
Yeah, I've had him down there, yeah,
Get to know him.
yep. He likes
For all the wrong reasons.
They'll
Okay,
even come pick your car up for you.
They're that nice.
Yeah,
We had to use John Deere.
it's all figured in there, trust me.
Oh,
okay, what about underneath that account, road maintenance, guide rail materials? This is any guide rail, but it's also your road maintenance, like your patch,
Coal patch and
if
stuff
coal
like that.
patch or any kind of like, I don't know, if you need 2A, like on Cove Road.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to.
Is that what you put on there, 2A
Yeah, 2A
modified?
modified, after the loggers get done. I want that logger to help pay for some of that. But you know how that'll go.
Yeah, I'm
Is
a-
that the game commission or?
yeah,
Yeah, it's a game
it's a game
commission,
commission.
but they're not gonna give you anything.
They won't give you anything.
So it usually takes five, single axles to do that.
Yeah.
I haven't written down what you did
Yeah.
last time.
It's been a while since we put that on. We won't put it on now because they'll just scrape it off. But
Well, yeah, well, they're not
In the spring,
they're
so
not
that's
done
the-
yet.
They're not done.
I don't-
Okay, so
So is 8,500 a good number to carry?
That gives us 2A modified is what, probably $500 a triaxle load.
probably about that.
So it's two triaxle loads and a half to do that, so,
Is that the whole road? Cause the last
Yeah.
time I don't think you did the whole way back.
yeah, that's the whole road, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so that should give us, what was the number, Jim?
8,500.
Yeah, that should give us
That's-
enough for her.
Okay,
That's what she has, yeah.
so you're talking about Cove Road, and then that's all your patching, your pothole patching in the
Potholes, yeah.
spring,
Your coal patch
summer,
and
fall, or
stuff.
coal patch, whatever. You think that's enough? Okay. Okay,
Yeah, I'm not anticipating.
I'm just trying to
anything, 'cause
jog
most of
your-
that job's gonna be, most of the big job's gonna be that culvert, but that's
Yeah.
gonna be contracted out,
right,
so
right,
I don't really see
yeah, and that's,
anything else.
that
sticking in.
roads contracted services.
And the other one that we were talking about, Tower Road down there on New Valley Road, that's gonna be contracted service.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't, yeah.
So, we're not
I
gonna.
don't know what to say.
Don't know what that's gonna end up
I
being.
think we'll just wait, didn't we just say we're gonna wait on that till I hear back from Max?
Yeah.
Hopefully. I'll try to say, Max, I need your help.
For better or for worse, we need to get Heisley taken care of first.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes, I think that is the priority he's working on. Okay, well now, is that okay for the miscellaneous rentals? You rented something this year, what the?
Yeah, track hoe.
Track hoe?
Yep. That's a little I don't know, the tracker, how much did that
The
cost?
tracker was $961.
Okay, yeah,
So I put 1,000 in,
that should be all
is
right.
that okay?
Yeah. We used to run a whacker, but we got this
You
one
got
running,
one.
but now it went down again towards the end of the year.
What does it do?
It just runs out, it just won't run.
No, I
Oh,
mean, what does
compacts.
it do?
It packs
Oh,
the
it
stone.
compacts it,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, packs the stone.
Okay.
When I was a lot younger, I got a lot of practice with that.
That's it.
Yeah. I was always the guy that had to do it.
Okay, so we're waiting on
It
that.
limbers you up.
It does.
Additional. We got the 10,000 for sure, I'll write that down so I don't forget that. And then we'll just waiting on Maxwell. Okay, it says, the next one is road construction overlay. And, I have an email into Rick Levan. He did get it. He let me know he got it, but he didn't get back to me, so I don't know if he's checking his schedule or what, but, I asked if he could come out with Brad next week to go over the, roads anticipated, and I had those written down for next year.
But we won't know a number until we meet Brad.
Right.
So,
Right,
Okay.
but I just wanted to let you know, so if you got, like last year you said about Reed, you know, if you know of a road that, we haven't thought about. But what we have down is Heisley Lane, because that's why don't we just overlay that whole thing?
While you're putting
Wasn't
the
it?
culvert in.
Cause it's gonna be ripped up,
Yep, it'll be ripped
so.
up pretty good.
So that's what we thought, it's gonna have to be overlaid anyway,
Yeah.
so do the whole thing, it's not that big.
It's not that long, it's not that big of a
Right.
stretch, yeah.
And it was in the 1990 something.
Yeah,
It's been a while, been a while, I mean, that looked.
2000
yeah.
maybe, I don't remember, it's been a while. And then there's a portion of Spruce Road, Brad said about the
From Willow,
northern portion,
right, back where Dawn lives, back down.
Oh, yeah,
from
okay.
Willow back
Back
to the
in there.
cul-de-sac.
Bad, yeah, that's really getting bad.
I've had two residents that have called me throughout the year. One is a little widow lady, but she said all this stuff's coming off the road. It's like, you know how it starts to,
Mhm.
if you don't get a top
Give
on it.
way, yeah.
But and then the other one was, I don't wanna say their name, but anyway, they called and they also mentioned that the road is deteriorating. Is that on the schedule? And so I said something to Brad, he said, yeah, that could use,
Yeah, it's
Top,
definitely
so.
getting bad.
that's just a portion of Spruce. Weaver Drive,
Weaver's getting
he
bad.
said, I can't find where that was ever done except for the micro surfacing when that was done on Lone Oak. I can't find any overlay. There's no history on that.
Maybe.
I have when they finished, that was one of the last things they
Uh-huh.
did in that development on Leewood, on that side of the road for Fishing Creek. And that's all I have, that was in 1990 something. And so I don't have anything, I couldn't find anything except the microsurfacing when they did that, and that's just a Band-Aid. So, Brad said it's getting pretty bad. I don't know, I don't go up there. That one, and then a portion of Lance Gap where the base repair was already done.
okay,
Does that sound?
Mm,
I'm okay with those.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll depend on price,
yeah,
but, and then we'll know, I'm sure we're gonna have to supplement. I can take care of the highway aid then better, but right now we got notice, we're getting 121 something, 200. 121, 200, something like that. And, that's less than this year, cause we got over 123,000 this year. They always figure low in their estimates, so even if we get a little more than what they anticipated, it's still less. I guess it's the electric vehicles,
Yeah,
not paying as much tax.
well, yeah, cause there's not as much revenue being generated from the gas tax.
Right,
Yeah.
so they're gonna try, I know PSATS is lobbying for that.
Well, they already announced that there's gonna be,
There's gonna be some.
there's gonna be some kind of charge or whatever.
I heard $200 a year.
Yeah, it's not anywhere near enough.
Yeah.
But
But it'll be
considering,
something.
considering the cars are heavier than gasoline powered cars too.
Oh,
But-
really?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, almost twice.
almost twice the weight, almost twice the weight.
Wow, I didn't
You have
know
a
that.
comparable gas, oh, yeah.
It's like a
Huge.
tank.
That's the hidden, that's
Don't
more
get one of them.
more that hidden stuff that they don't want anybody to
they
know.
burn up quicker too.
Yeah, they do.
Not not that it's related, but while I'm thinking, the Blue Ridge project, putting the fiber.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Are they all done?
no.
No.
Are they coming back? Cause they left some spools and stuff in.
Yes, there, I just got a utility permit application for
They can-
Dickett, Dickett
Okay.
Drive. So I had Brad look at it, they're basically, they bore under, they
Mhm.
don't,
Yeah, they got schools back there.
At the end of
at the
Reed.
end of Reed,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
so
don't know if they're done.
So they're not done running the
Did you
main
see that
trunk
we
yet.
moved that
No.
sign back there, Marin office sign?
Huh.
Got it out of the tree so you can see it. What's his name said about that?
Bob?
Garrett Roth.
Bob Roth,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
So we went back and did it.
okay.
Dug it in by hand. What a pain in the ass. Cause I didn't want it, cause I didn't know where the line was.
Yeah.
It was right there where, so we dug it all by hand, tried to get it down in. I was afraid to dig with the backhoe.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
never know.
You
It
never
took
know.
a while.
never know what you hit.
Yeah, and it was hard, of course.
Mhm.
That's before we got there.
Before the rain came, right? Yeah.
Well, were there any other suggestions for
For roads.
road paving that you've noticed?
If you have any, just say, because that's what I
Go
come
check
up
them
with.
out,
When was Reed done?
it's been a while.
'Cause I think that's got quite a few cracks in it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna need attention, but, boy, that's gonna be a big, but that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
only one you're gonna
That's
do.
kinda, is that
Yeah.
wider than
Oh
Styles?
my God. it's
Yeah,
Is
wide.
it?
And that's gonna be the only one you're gonna do. That's
Cause
the
it'll
only
eat,
one.
it'll eat up it all.
It'll eat it all up.
Yeah.
Well, you only have to go up to Cherry, right? Because you already did.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah,
It's
but
gonna
that's still,
be-
Yeah, still
Takes a while to get to
You're
Cherry.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
right.
gonna be a
It's like
lot
a-
of money there.
Pretty much a full mile,
Mm.
Mm.
almost.
Is it?
Maybe something
Almost,
we can
yeah.
look at for the prior, get some of these little ones cleaned up.
And then we can do that with that,
Maybe
get
do that
that
one because-
knocked out.
That's gonna be the only one for that year.
That's true.
Yeah.
You do get a better price though when
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all one and it's a lot.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
guys satisfied with the work they did?
Oh, yeah, yeah, they did, they did a
I
good
think
job.
I think they did an awesome job as well.
I think, to be honest, I think that base repair they did on Lamb's Gap was
Wasn't it nice?
awesome.
And you can't even feel
They
the
did, they
transitions.
did a bang up job
They
on
did.
that.
The transitions are perfect.
I-
They did, they did.
So-
And then we don't have to do all that this year.
No,
We can
right,
overlay
just
it.
overlay it and it's done,
Yeah.
yeah, so, that's,
You still use 1.5 inch? Do you?
Good.
Okay. All right, well then, that's the 4 roads that we will look at
Look
getting
at,
some
okay.
estimates for.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure you get copies, Sean.
Yep.
I mean, you're welcome to,
yeah.
once we find out, if you wanna go along, you're welcome to.
If I-
No,
you know, there's spare time.
enough hours in the day,
I know.
it's,
You get any extra time, you go out post time.
yeah, right,
If you wanna pick pumpkins, huh?
right.
He'll even give you one.
I'm sure, yeah, right. Don't ask me what I do.
Maybe 2 if you, if you do a good job. Okay, well, that gives me, let me see if there's anything else here. Said about the zoning, the salaries, I will do those later, I never do them the first time. Oh, I know what I wanted to ask, back in the,
What page on it?
I'm on page 2, down at the transfers. Last year, it looks like what happened was we budgeted transfer from capital reserve and put the 263,000 in there. That might be a wrong journal entry there. I think that needs to be changed to the ARP, because that's what that money is. So my question is, the ARP monies, we're back to them again. How do you want to handle that? I know we've got some things that we've spent that on already. I mean, I didn't transfer yet. I'm leaving it sit in there because I'm getting 3.55%
Interest, yeah.
interest and about $800 and some a month. So that's helpful. So we have about 260. I'd say by end of year we should have about 270,000. So you're going to have even a little more than that for next year. But my question is, what do you want to do with that? Do you want me to try to use it all this year and use it on things that we have to pay no matter what? Salaries, you're allowed to use it on that. and I'm not saying just to do that because I work here. I'm just saying my reason for that is it's supposed to be used by the end of this year, or
No, it's gotta be obligated by the end of this
And
year.
we do have a purchase order that's signed, so we do have formal obligation. But if you wanna clean it up so that in April, when that report is filed, the closure report is done, or it's gonna have to hang on
For another
till-
year.
For another
For
year.
another
But
year.
that's up to you, whatever you want to do. It's going to come out of our money either way. It's kind of, the art monies are here, and I would just spend them and, designate them through some bills that would have been paid anyway by general fund. And then that money that's in there for the general fund, it's really just a bookkeeping thing, but the general monies would be put aside for the mower. You know what I'm saying? Or do you just want to keep it all in the ARP fund, in the ARP account, it's not a fund, it's an account. How would you like to handle, you can do it either way.
I thought we had talked about doing the tractor and, New Valley Road culvert. Is that money? Did we not?
Well, I don't see how, we talked about, could we use some of it for
Yeah.
culverts?
Mhm.
Yes, we absolutely can use it for culverts and bridges and road paving, you can do whatever you want.
Is there a reason not to, designate to those?
No, No, the only reason is to make the paperwork a little bit easier to the federal government. Is to say it's all done and paid for, even though we still have it. You can still designate that from the general fund. But it's just it's more like a bookkeeping entry.
Mhm.
You just need to show that it transferred, and this is what you spent it on. When that closure report needs to be done by the end of April. If not, I'm not sure yet, they haven't had I think there's gonna be a webinar coming up before year end, but I know there's one in the beginning of the year, after January sometime, there will be, another webinar on, they always have some updates, the federal government. And they'll have different things that they go over. And then they don't even have you can't even go in there and adjust anything. But the other thing is, what we have to account for to the federal government is not $270,000.
It's the 250,000
It's
that we got.
$250 and some odd dollars.
Yeah.
That's the
what
part-
we-
that's the part you gotta-
That's in there.
Okay.
It's already put in there on that section of the report by the federal government. So that's what you have to account for that money, which we easily can. You can dump it, you could pay for the whole tractor with it, or you could, like I said, on paper, say you paid it out, well, we already gave the fire companies
Mhm.
extra money.
Right.
And the radios, we could use it for that. There's a couple
Let
things.
me ask you this.
Mhm.
When you fill out the paperwork for the federal government, do you have to list all the items that you
No,
used it on?
they just general,
Okay,
general.
so you
I
just-
feel like if you're giving donations to fire companies, I will say that, because I had to give them an idea. There's like a summary box there. They don't want a big, just detailed thing. They just wanna know, okay, this went for road equipment, a new truck, or a track, whatever, or it went for payroll, it went,
Yeah.
My thought is that we designate it for the tractor, and however much we have to designate, instead of piecemealing it out of all the other accounts and saying, we paid the salaries with this much art money, because you're gonna have to do.
Because it's easier to point to
I
a
think
tangible.
because if the
Right,
government comes back and said, we changed our minds, we really wanna know the detail. Now you have all this bookkeeping to do. You can say, oh, that won't happen, but believe me, it could happen.
it could, but
You are gonna have a little bit left over because
Yes.
the tractor won't eat up all of it.
No.
So,
Well, we have.
biggest part of it.
Yeah,
So if we do the tractor and the culvert.
we're not gonna have enough.
Well,
You're still
it's
gonna
not
have to.
Well, you
Some
can, what's left over
Yes,
could
go
go just,
toward
could
the
just go
culvert.
right to the culvert, yeah.
And then we have two items and.
Okay, well, I already told him we were giving donations to the.
Well,
Oh, no,
but
well,
you have that too.
So
So,
that's, 40,000.
That was $40,000, so there's 210 left.
Okay, so.
I don't know what the
Tractor,
final,
fire
It's
company, and
220
culvert.
something.
oh, okay, so it's actually, so we're, okay.
I think it was 220.
So that will actually eat it all up if that's the case.
So there
Okay.
won't be any.
So there won't be, you wouldn't have to
Won't
worry
be
about, yeah, there won't be anything
Oh,
left.
okay, it's tractor and fire.
And the fire companies, that'll be, that'll be it.
That'll be it.
Yeah. Yeah,
That-
That's two
fine.
items.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when do you want that, how do you want that handled? You don't want it, yeah, how do you want?
Well, the
me-
fire companies are already dispensed, right? They
Right,
already have their
that's-
money.
So that could be partially reported.
Yeah,
So you have to report what was spent to the federal government, and we have X dollars left over, and we're gonna use it for a tractor.
and you're
And
just
you're
gonna,
gonna
that
have
doesn't,
to-
you got to
You're
designate
gonna
that.
have to download, all of, upload it and scan
Yeah.
it and then download they'll want proof that you have formal obligation. And
Okay,
that's gonna add more steps to the reporting.
no, but that
And
is
maybe
what
that
it
will
is.
trigger more, I don't know,
Well,
I don't know.
Tractor
I
and
just
fire.
know what PSAT said, was trying
Yeah.
to get it done by year end because it's more complicated.
Yeah,
So you want, okay, let me get this straight. For the tractor and,
Don't we already have a contract?
you have
for
a,
that?
yeah, you have a purchase order or
Okay.
whatever.
So we
too.
already have for the 90% of the money or whatever. You already have purchased the, or not purchased, or you've already given the money to the fire
Yeah.
company, so you
Right.
already have that.
Mhm.
So,
And then the only obligation is just whatever the purchase order for the tractor itself, for the
Right,
tractor
right.
mower.
yeah, for the.
For the balance,
Correct.
I
okay,
think it was 220 something.
yeah.
it's 220, yeah.
Yeah, they-
That's
It's some
just
odd
a line,
dollars.
man.
So, well, yeah,
Maybe they'll knock the odd dollars off.
Don't count on
Round them
it.
up.
Yeah, round
yeah.
The only person
round
does,
them up.
Mike Minnick does that. If it's 2302 or something.
It's $23,
Yeah,
yeah.
forget that, don't worry about that. He always rounds it down or up, but, yeah, okay, well then that's what we're due, and, just thinking what else I need to do with that, but I'll figure that out. Okay. So, that means I'm going to carry that ARP account over. I mean, the ARP, the account, not the fund, but account. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out, but, and the 40,000 is out of there. Yeah. Plus, we'll be getting some interest.
Well, the
on
interest
it.
will be enough to actually cover what's left on the tractor, and then we'll
It
have,
should.
and we should still have we should still have some left over from that.
It's money.
Yeah.
Pizza money.
Yeah. That's a big pizza party.
That sure is. Okay, all right, well, that answers my question about that, because I didn't know how to budget that. Okay, we must also move on then to the solid waste unless you have any other questions. Oh, I know I do have, did we want to transfer any money to capital reserve? That's it on page 4. This year we had $50,000, and there's a CD coming due that I'm to take 48,000 and dump it into road projects. And we put 2,000, I think it was, into something else. I'm gonna have to look here. Comp plan update. That's another question. That's another question. That's another question for the budget too, I'm glad that came up, but, do you want, just first of all, do you want to put any money back in, and this would be like say for instance, the bridge CD comes due, and we used to always put every year $10,000 in the bridge CD. We don't have to do that, but that's just an example of what we have done in the past. This past year, we put, you did differently. We were thinking of the comp plan completion, so you add a little more when that came due. Do you wanna not do that because of the issues with the culvert? that came to my mind. Although, you know, this is kind of saving, so is there
Mhm.
something you want to add to the savings to the CDs? Any thoughts? We do have, if you're getting worried about the culvert, we do have a CD, couple of CDs, over 100,000 that are coming due. I'm gonna check on those, and once I get that information from Max a little bit more solid, because,
Are we getting any help from that culvert with the government?
I was waiting on that to give it, because Mike told me that he could try to find out. The FEMA people,
Right.
I sent it to the county, who asked for pictures.
Right.
You gave me pictures, Johnny gave me pictures, and Max gave me pictures, and I sent them all over to FEMA. But I haven't heard
Yeah,
anything
but
back.
if you don't want any money.
I guess that's probably what it is.
That's why I haven't heard anything.
They declared, what was it, Clinton County and Union County?
Yeah, but I don't think they did not, they did not officially declare Perry County,
No, they did
so
not.
I don't think that's, I don't think you're gonna see anything.
Don't hold your breath.
I wouldn't hold my breath, I mean, 'cause
I tried.
I don't think they can do that after the fact, I don't think, but with what Marysville had to go through and what we had to go through, I
I
mean,
know.
for heaven's sakes. They couldn't have been the only places in Perry County that had a problem.
No. No, and some of that, Tom seems to think some of it had to do with, the cutting.
Uh-huh.
The forestry, yeah.
Well, putting all them houses up on the top of Marysville there,
And
yeah.
up there also, you know, Tom, he likes to
Mm.
analyze things. But the culvert there at Heisley, you know, it's like, well, that wasn't that big of a stream, what happened? And, I was reminded that the Eichelbergers, who own almost that whole mountain up there,
Mhm.
they timbered the whole way across there
Mm.
last year.
Yeah,
And then, cause Henry Holman told me, he owns a parcel at the end of Brubeck.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
And they did some of his too, he owns
Yeah.
up into that, and
Yeah.
while they were there,
yeah.
they did some of his.
Mhm.
So all of that, it
Uh-huh,
makes a difference,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be pushing
It
it
does.
down
Makes
more
difference.
through.
Yeah.
That certainly had an effect on
it did.
it, so I don't
A
know.
lot of things.
Well, all this that they're timbering off the game commission ground behind mom and dad, it's gonna have an effect on everything.
Oh, definitely.
I mean-
I never saw it come, all the years I've lived here, never saw it running like rivers from down the mountain. I mean, it was incredible. When I came to work that morning, it was I thought, oh my gosh, it was like I was driving through a stream. And then there was little pieces of debris and stuff in it. But oh my goodness, this is bad. When I got here, I sat here for 5 minutes because the rain was coming down. It looked like someone was dumping a bucket on
Bucket of
my
water,
windshield. I
yeah.
thought, I can't get out. I'm gonna get soaked.
Well, Johnny,
I can't
if
sit
they
here
keep this
wet.
up, we're in big trouble.
I know. So I pulled the
It was
car over. I
starting to
thought,
get a little sketchy.
someone would be nuts to come here
Yeah, today, of all
So I
days.
pulled the car over and just, I had
Yeah.
2 steps and then I came in because I thought the guys might be trying to get hold of me. But that was incredible. People, I didn't realize the difference that cutting does. I mean, that really makes a
I
difference.
agree with that.
And we are a valley between 2 mountains,
Yeah.
so,
It's only got one way to go,
yeah, down to the creek,
down to the creek.
yeah. Okay, what about the comp plan? We had put, that is in a CD currently, and I think it comes due May, June, somewhere around that time. Did you wanna hold off on that?
Which line again is that one, David?
Let me find it. 01414500.
Yeah. It's on page 3.
And we had budgeted that, and I don't expect that we're gonna be using anything till the end, I could change that, I'll make sure I do that.
Yeah.
But we thought that the planning commission would have time, and what happened was the solar thing
The
came.
solar thing came up.
And then Jason came and talked about Picture Perry.
Picture Perry.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Perry Picture?
No, Picture Perry.
Picture Perry. So I didn't know what we were doing with that at this point. We can hold off on that a little bit, because I don't think,
Well, I was, that whole thing there, whatever, I wanted, well, the The planning commission wants the solicitor to take a look at
Oh,
what all
okay.
that, what that involves, and
What's that, the picture?
the picture Perry thing, yeah. Cause that's like it's like a countywide comprehensive plan. But my only concern is, my biggest concern is, if we do opt into it, and the decision actually comes down to us three, if we do opt into that instead of having our own comp plan, well, what happens whenever our vision for what somebody wants to do doesn't match what that does? That's the concern that I have. And my question to the solicitor is, which one takes precedent? That's the, this is kind, this is kind of like a federal government, state government thing, you know? Who has the, which one do you go with? That's my main concern. So, cause I'm not a one size fits all kind of guy, I'm sorry. I mean, there's different parts of the county are different ways, and I need to sit down and really, really go through what they have on paper or whatever to see, before I can make up my mind totally, but that's just my
In
concerns.
discussions with the planning commission, did they give upsides and downsides?
No,
Did anybody, no?
no, basically all Jason said is here it is. I mean, he didn't go into very much detail.
Oh,
Not
I mean,
really.
other members?
No, not really, no.
So do we leave the 10,000 in for now? Is that-
We could, I mean, I don't know if
Do you
we're
wanna
gonna.
leave that, actually, it's actually gonna be
The-
more, with the
More, it's gotta be more
2,000,
than, it's gotta be
yeah,
more
'cause
than
the
that.
2,000 was added to it.
Yeah,
And it's in a CD, so you're gonna have maybe 14,000
yeah.
for next year.
I'd say just let it ride,
That-
just
that
in
the
case.
CD
Just-
Well, it is riding.
It's riding,
It's
but
riding
yeah.
in the
But what do
CD,
What do we put in for, put 14,000 in, you're saying, for
yeah.
proposed?
Yeah.
I will double check the percentage.
see what-
and then I
see
can
what- see
get
what
it-
it's- see what it's
I can
gonna
get it
come
more
out
exact
to.
what it will be,
Yeah.
but you know you've got,
You got that much,
yeah, the base is 12,000.
right?
So,
So did we get anything to the solicitor?
no,
No.
nobody told me to do that, and I wasn't even sure what to get to him, to tell you the truth.
Well, okay,
I did hear talk of it, but no one actually,
no, I guess no one actually made a motion for anything like that to be done, did they?
no.
Okay,
Should we do that at next?
we could do that
Put
the
it
next,
on-
we could
put
do
it-
that on the next,
oh, yeah,
put that on the agenda, please.
Okay. To solicitor. Or not the Perry.
Picture Perry.
Why do I call Perry? Perry?
I can't ever call it the right thing either, but I'm pretty sure it's
Perry.
Picture Perry.
Yes, that's right, because I don't say it right on the agenda, okay. Add to the PC agenda, got it. Alrighty, I will double check that and get a better, we'll just put it in there. If you
Yeah.
don't use it, like this year, with the timing and everything
Yeah,
else
right.
that we thought you'd have time.
Right.
And now you have a more complex plan.
Now we have more
and
plan, and now we got more plans coming in,
That's
so.
the first formal plan we've had for like over
Yeah, for a year, yeah,
Yeah.
it was kinda nice.
Yeah, it was. Okay, I think we can move on now. Those two things got cleared up. I'm glad they come up with, because then I'll think about it later. Okay, we can go to the solid waste fund, which I didn't get a lot of work done on that. I did get some of the expenditures done. Next year, of course, it's 216,372. One thing I do need to ask you, I gave you this tax schedule. You're not planning on raising taxes, correct? Okay. I just thought I needed to,
That's,
I assumed that, but I just wanted to ask.
yeah,
Okay, gotcha. Okay, how about fees for solid waste? No, yes, you want me to get more of this done before? I have to work with Pam's just sent me a bill, so I have to get that calculated. I didn't get this far, to get some of it.
As far as raising fees?
Yes,
But you're indicating we don't have all the data yet to.
no, I don't have.
To make a
Right,
good decision
so
on
Yes.
yeah, we'll hold that till the next.
Okay, sounds good. And I also wanted to know if we don't raise fees, or even if you do raise them minimally, how do you want me to handle, do you still want it to come from the capital reserve to supplement that? You know, to balance that out, or do you want me to budget it like I do highway aid and have a deficit budget, which was mentioned before? It's really not, it's a deficit on paper, but you're pulling from prior year balances.
Yeah.
My thought is, I know we've discussed it and everything, but since we've been doing it a certain way, the auditors are gonna be be wondering why you changed.
Why you
it
didn't,
to
why you
that
didn't do it
way.
that same way again?
Correct, it's not that it's
It's not that it's
It's
wrong.
not that it's wrong, correct,
No.
yeah, they're just saying, okay, and they may put it in the notes to the financials that we changed this certain way that we do that.
If
So
you
what
change it,
If you change
Yeah.
it, yeah.
is there any reason to change it? The way we've been doing it.
No.
Not really, right?
Not
I mean,
really. There's some money in the assets that, is not being budgeted in, but I really don't see that it makes a big difference because the money that's in capital reserve for solid waste, you're pulling that down.
mhm.
So eventually, what you will do is transfer those assets to capital reserve so they can be budgeted into
Into
the expenses. So it's going to come down the funnel eventually, it's just the method of how you do it, you know, do you know what I'm saying, does that make sense? Okay, it's all solid waste, it's all
right.
for that fund.
It's all the right, yeah, everything
It's all
all
there,
one.
it's just there's a couple CDs that are in the assets that are not budgeted, they're just accumulating interest. And I think they were just pulled out because we were getting more money and we wanted a little more,
Mhm.
investment interest on it, but they easily could be budgeted to be transferred. We could do that, just transfer money out. We've done that before because the auditors tell me and PSATs tell me, in order to put it into the budget, you don't budget assets, it has to come from the capital reserve or another fund.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
transfer from that. So anyway, that's what I would see in the future happening, is when that CD that's in capital reserve, it's still getting interest too. And I always try to keep it on schedule so that I can pull it out in December.
Mhm.
So I know,
Right.
it's just
To
due
balance
at that
everything out,
time,
yeah.
yeah. And to keep it doing that, but anyway, we'll just keep it the same, that's easy for me, I just thought I
don't
would
see any
ask.
reason to change it.
And when I get to that point, I always have a large amount there to transfer and we never need that.
Oh, the whole
That
amount,
big
the whole amount.
It's just to get it to balance because, now this year we did use more if you notice, we used more for the cleanup. That cost us more this year. Remember that, Brad? We had more dumpsters
Oh, yeah.
and more tonnage.
Mhm.
So I don't know why, but we
Mm.
did. It went up a little bit too, so
Yeah.
that's some of the factor there, but I put 8,400.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
probably
that
fine.
sounds
That's
good.
fine,
And then the 216,372, that's the contracted services. And that is an extension of our existing contract that runs out next year. So that runs out in 2025. And Joel Washak was the municipal contract manager. He left.
yeah. Did
So
he?
now I have somebody new named Andrea. I don't know her that well, but I'm trying to get to know her.
Mhm.
So that we get in, good
Oh,
with
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
I'm trying right now too, our cardboard contract with them runs out the end of the
At the
year.
end of it, okay.
And that's always as needed.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to get that done for 2 years, so that's taken care of.
Yeah.
At least for 2 years for you. So I have an email into her, I haven't heard back, but I'm sure it's gonna take a little longer.
Oh, yeah.
Because Joel he's
Right.
But he went to West Virginia, he's still working for Waste Connections, which is who Penn Waste is now.
Okay.
And he and his wife went to West Virginia, he said it's a completely clean start, they don't even have family down there. So it must have been a good promotion for him, he was a good worker, he was very responsive. So I'm gonna miss him for that
Yeah.
reason, but hopefully he gave me 2 girls now that are in charge, and, hopefully
It works out.
they will follow through.
Yeah.
I think it will, because I already had to get hold of them about an issue with, maybe you have a suggestion. Do you know where Hoswick Lane is out there? It's a private lane, it's,
Right by the varsity.
yeah, it's diagonal from the park.
Yeah, yeah,
They're up on
okay.
a hill, they
Yeah.
probably border Wanda Pines Farm
Yeah,
back in there.
yeah,
But anyway, they made this nice thing to put their trash cans in, this
Yeah.
little gravel thing, and
uh-huh,
there's like 3 of them there.
right,
Well, they got nasty grams, I guess, Post-it notes from the collector who said, move your tote out further to the road.
Yeah, 'cause
or
he can't
will
reach
not
it.
be
you
collected."
can't reach it back in there, I'm
So,
sure.
yeah. So he said it's about 6 feet, but they said it needs to be 5 feet, so the guy has to get out and drag it. And I left her know, and she said, well, we have a new driver, and he just said, I'm not gonna continue to do this. The reason they pulled them back is they didn't do it to be,
Right.
give them a hard time. It's because of the mail. Because
Uh-huh.
if they put it out, the mailman says they're blocking that, and
So they
I will
won't
not
deliver the
deliver
mail.
your mail. So I don't know what the answer is.
Put their mailbox on the other side of the driveway.
Yeah.
They could move them, or move their, I haven't.
They gotta flip-flop sides one way or the other, that might be
Yeah.
the only way to fix it, I mean.
Do that. Cause she asked me, and I thought, I don't have time to think about this today. But, she's also sent it to some other people there who, maybe they might have an idea, but she thought maybe to put
Yeah.
it on the other side of is there room on the other side of the guide rail?
I'm not sure, I'll
It's-
have to look at that.
Yeah,
Cause there's
it's,
guide rail
it's
there.
pretty, I know it's, and I think it's tighter
I
on
think
the
it's
other
tighter.
side than what it is there or whatever, but
Okay,
I,
Yeah.
you know.
well, I will think about, if you have any suggestions, let me know, because she said, I'm trying to make this amicable, you know,
Yeah.
and trying to work with them, but yet we don't want our guy to have to get out every
Right.
time and drag cans across the
Well,
gravel.
no, he's not
you know.
supposed to, that's
No,
the
he's not
idea.
supposed to.
I mean,
If it's one time, it's one thing, but yeah.
not continually.
No. Okay, but anyway, any questions on what is there so far? Keystone, of course, is done for, so I left that in because obviously there's money in there for this year. But next time I do a budget transfer, I'm going to include solid waste, and I'm going to transfer that money that's remaining in Keystone collection cost and put it down into Pam's.
Pam's, yeah.
Because right now, we don't even have a budget, but I wanted to give them a separate account to keep their costs separate from Keystone.
Yeah.
And then next year, that should disappear, Keystone should disappear, so. Okay. I added a little more to both the solid waste and the general for the printing, because our printer there at Brown's, they are no longer in
closed up,
business,
right?
they've closed up. So, suddenly, very suddenly. That's why the new zoning books were late. I'm like, I need these new zoning books. I gave them to them I sent them electronically, like the last week in July. I said, no hurry, just so I have these like after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Because I know they're swamped, they're always swamped up there. When you go
Yeah.
up there, there's like, I mean, it's just busy, stacks of everything. Well, anyway, she called me the end of August and said, I'm sorry, Daisy, we can't complete your order. I said, you've had it for over a month.
Yeah.
And I said, are you doing the county convention? We are going to do that. We're not going to leave those people. I said, oh, thank God. But anyway, so anyhow, I found a place in Mercersburg. I called PSATs, and I thought they do some in-house printing, but
Yeah.
Mercersburg.
Yeah.
And I thought, Mercersburg, I'm not running to Mercersburg. They deliver up here. It's a regular route. They come up this way. So they actually were cheaper than
Brown.
Brown's.
They're good.
No?
So I got the zoning books, which that was one thing I wanted to finish up and get that done. The new zoning books now have page numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got missed last time, but they did. And somebody on Plenty said, hallelujah.
Nice on the page number.
Yeah, it is.
Cause they'd be there saying, okay, it's on the third what page is it? There's no page.
There's no page number.
That's
Yeah, that would be.
just a nuisance, so thank goodness they have page numbers now. But we will be doing saldo, I'm not sure when.
Yeah, so you
It
guys.
actually needs done now, but I'm holding off with getting that printed. Do you
Yeah.
think I should hold off, Sean, or should
Well,
I?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know what Tom's supposed to get to me.
Yeah, he has sold more solar stuff that he wanted to
In the saldo.
in a saldo because he wanted to make sure they match.
See, what we did the year before,
Mhm.
I have that all done,
Right.
and it's out on the website, it's
Right.
correct. But I don't have the right hard copies here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't wanna lose that. We need
Yeah.
to make sure we follow through with that. So,
Well, actually, add that to your note for the planning commission meeting to
Okay.
double check if we're okay to go with the saldos the way they are. I don't know any other way to do it.
well, Tom was supposed to get.
He was gonna
chapter
send. He was
and
gonna.
verse,
He
you
was
know,
gonna
what-
send you some stuff, but
Right,
yeah,
but he didn't.
yeah.
Where the changes,
Where-
there
where
weren't
they-
that many.
There weren't that many, but yeah.
And if I could get, well, I can't print those until we have a hearing.
Right.
Until you,
Until we officially.
And- so there's
Yeah.
gonna be some time
Yeah.
before that's done, but maybe I could get the ball rolling,
Yeah.
you know, get that. Okay, so updates.
It's kind of silly to print them and then turn around beginning of
Right,
next year
that's
and have
what
to
I
print them
thought.
again.
And
I
we'll do
mean,
'em again, then I have them sitting back here and they're like, okay, which one's?
which
the-
one's right? I don't
Right,
know.
you can get more mixed up with that. Okay, but anyway, I added a little bit more because of the printing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a place in Lemoyne called Haas Printing,
Mhm.
Haas. And they gave me a really good deal on the newsletter. That was actually cheaper than Brown's. Now, whether they're giving me this to get my foot in the door, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, they actually gave me a better price than Mercersburg, so. That was kinda good, you know, that was,
Yeah.
I was concerned, who am I gonna get to do this printing?
No, that's yeah. They're right on. Right next to what used to be. They're close to where Hemps used to be, which is now New Enterprise. They're right on that. That's right where they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're on that stretch of road.
Well, I got that name from the guy who sold us the coffee.
Copier. Yeah.
He said, oh yeah, I
They've
know.
been there for a long
I'm
time.
down there working on his machines all
Yeah.
the time. So I said, good, well, we'll just try it. But it worked out, so, I was pleased with that. But that was just another headache along the road, just another bump. So, is there anything else you would like included or you've been thinking about? Any new purchases other than the lacquer? Anything? No? I can't think.
I mean, what?
Anything, I know what else too, the building, is there anything, like last year we had the furnace out there, is there anything with the building?
No, but we gotta get that heater out there, we gotta get, what's going on with ARCs, I wonder, they,
Which
Johnny
heater?
said
Did
he
he
tries.
call him?
Yes, said they never get back to him.
Which heater, the one right on the other
Right,
side of the wall,
the
next to the
next-
bathroom?
the
Said
next
it's not
one,
working.
Yeah, no,
What did Johnny say?
he takes it to the control board.
Yeah. He said it wasn't, he opened it up and there wasn't a spark there or something.
Oh.
Because Johnny's,
He works
Used to-
on his.
he works
Okay.
on it.
So we
Yeah.
Had the
contacted
oil
Arts and
business?
they-
Yeah, yeah.
ARCs is,
Yeah, Sean.
okay,
Yeah, they
Is
are.
he still
Arts
with
is-
them? Sean Becerra still
Well,
with
he
Arts?
owns it. right?
Oh, he owns
He's
it,
the owner.
okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Well, I hope he's still with
I hope
it.
Yeah, I'm
still
trying to find
there.
another place that we just came across, Kane in the country.
But we have a contract with Arts.
yeah, we got
Oh.
the contract.
Yeah,
that's
this
the
year, and
thing.
they never came to clean our, they usually wait till the heating season
Until
about
it
this
actually is ready
time.
to start.
It's
yeah.
usually about this time that
I
they
think
come,
they
but
need reminded.
I think so.
Maybe somebody lost their calendar.
Yeah, might have.
I know they
That
lost some
happens.
employees.
Oh.
Well, Jeffy Borman, he retired. He always
Okay.
took care of it.
He was
He was
always
good.
took care of us.
He was very good.
Yep.
And then the
Jeff was
other
nice.
guy, Dave Wertz.
He's sad though because his Phillies lost.
Yeah. Well, who couldn't see that coming from a mile away?
So is my grandson, he loves them.
Yeah, they just ain't playing.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
they'll
up, they were
fire
doing so well.
now. Mets are hot though.
Yep.
The Mets.
Yeah,
So we're gonna
are
call
you,
Arcs again?
Yeah.
I'm looking for this other company.
Oh, okay,
But,
because we have that
We have
Well, if you
contract.
got a
contract,
contract,
so
yeah.
at least we wouldn't pay labor, we might have to pay
Oh,
parts.
yeah, I'll have to pay parts, but we'll
Yeah.
pay labor, yeah, okay. We'll get a hold of them. Well,
Well,
Johnny
it's just-
tried.
And if it's just a single control board, yeah, the
Well,
labor.
we know
the
where
labor
they're at,
might
we
be-
can just stop down there and see.
See 'em, yeah.
That's true,
I'll just send Johnny down, he can talk to them.
yeah.
Yeah, if you already looked at it, you can tell them what he thinks wrong with it. So they
That's
make sure
true.
they got the right stuff with
Right,
them if they
right.
come.
That's
Right.
true.
Okay.
So there's no, you can't think of any building improvement projects or anything? Like we did
No.
we did the one window, I think we've done all the windows here now,
Are they all replaced?
except for the one little one, and they said they couldn't get a replacement for that, but that window, it's the wind out.
Oh,
And
yeah,
he said, he caulked it, and he said it's really not in bad
not
shape.
bad, okay.
It doesn't get full force.
Okay,
weather.
the way, oh, yeah.
But, we can tell a difference, Nancy and I can tell a difference there. We'd sit there at that one computer and you could
There we go.
feel,
You can feel it,
you
yeah.
know, it just came through there.
We don't need the air conditioner on.
In the winter? No, yeah, it was, you can really tell a difference. So thank you, I appreciate it.
Well,
Any
okay.
doors or anything? Nothing?
Like I say,
That door
how are all
there,
the garage doors and everything? Are they all in pretty good shape?
Not too bad.
Okay.
this door here has like you see light through it. But
I'm sorry,
at the
which one?
bottom, there's light, there's,
Like
Going
just
into the
these-
garage?
No, the double doors
Weather
here.
strip or something.
Yeah,
the double door, the one that has
doors
the
are
panic
okay.
bar
I
on
think
it.
it's just a weather strip.
it's weather strip back, yeah.
Is that what it
I
is?
think, because they're actually pretty good doors.
Yeah, the door seems to
And they're,
work
yeah,
fine.
they're,
I just didn't know about,
yeah, probably needs new weather strip on the
Is
bottom.
that something we can put on, or do we get the door service?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Johnny used to
Just-
work on doors. I can let him
Yes,
look at it.
yeah.
Johnny can do everything.
He's pretty handy.
Yeah, okay, well then I'll just put something in those accounts.
Just make sure there's, yeah, a
Just
little
in
bit.
case like we had the furnace or
Right.
you just
Yeah.
never know. Or hot water heat, you just
Well,
never know.
yeah, you gotta have at least.
And we also have,
We put the last one in.
Did you put
That
the
wasn't
last-
too long ago. we put
no,
in.
that wasn't, now that you say that.
Yeah.
And then we have that,
The plumbers.
what's that water thing?
That just don't do electric, I don't like electric.
The water thing we have, what?
Osmosis thing?
Water
You
filter.
gotta filter out.
There's a filter. And it has special ultraviolet
Yeah, I
or,
don't know if that thing works, to tell you the truth. I don't think that thing works.
no. Someday, the toilet over here needs addressed.
I thought we shut that off because we don't.
We did.
It is shut off, but you get sewer gas.
Oh, really?
We tried to put some of that, RV antifreeze in, see if it'll stay, but.
Oh,
Would evaporate so quick.
It won't evaporate.
Yeah, it should.
oh, did you put some in there? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
kind of like when there's an empty house, I don't know if you've ever
Yep.
witnessed that, you go in and I think
It'll
that's what they do, and then
evaporate
they put plastic over.
Over top of
over
them,
it
yeah.
and
It'll
tape it
evaporate all
all.
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
But that RV, they should hold that a little bit better.
Oh, that's
I
Yeah,
good.
that doesn't evaporate
I
as quick
haven't
as just
smelled
plain
it here
water.
late.
Not since the other week,
Right,
just the
right,
other
yeah.
week, but every 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'd
So
come
we'll
in
see
and
what
it
it does.
smelled like
Mm.
rotten eggs. I mean, it just,
Yeah, because the
or
water
sometimes
evaporates
it
out
would
the track.
start and
Yeah.
I'd be in there and think, man, I'm just so tired today. And and then I'd go out and come back in and think, oh my God, it's that stupid sewer gas. And it really does
It's
make
better.
you lethargic. It
Better.
does. Anyway, that's something that, maybe that will work, because they did try taping it. They put water in it. I've already taken buckets
It
full of
just
water in.
evaporates.
Yeah, it just evaporates out eventually.
Yeah, it does, even in all that rain.
Oh,
we had to
yeah.
fill
Well, it's
it.
still, yeah, it's still gonna go.
Those 11 days, it was within those 11 days, I said, I can't believe
It's
it.
still,
11, 12 days of rain and it's still dry now.
Okay.
All right,
We are done?
we are done if you're
Okay.
done.
Motion to adjourn? Second, was that a second? I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I wanted to watch it.
Okay, meeting is adjourned. Daisy is 8:04.
8:04.